Hello guys, welcome to the channel. So I just want to provide a feedback after having this board um, after a week basically. It's still pretty new, so basically the board is very solid. Love it, love it. But, and I know I'm saying but, and this is not something negative about the board. This is because this hobby is so subjective. I was just watching Alex Oto's stream about the Join 65 build, and someone was saying they do not care if it's thin sounding, they don't care about the sound. So there you go. But for me to get to the point, since it is a premium board and I like it to be perfect for me, I have to find the switch that I'm going to be happy with and keycaps too. For now, I'm leaning towards PBT than ABS. I posted a video comparison of ABS versus PBT just recently, and for me, I just prefer PBT for this board for now, especially pairing it with the Moon V2s. Now that may change when I find a better switch. I guess we'll find out. One thing I really wanted to point out is that this board has no weaknesses for me in terms of the keys. And what I mean by this is that, and when I say keys, the keys, 65%, so there's around 65 keys on the board. And what I mean by this is that the board makes everything sound great, as in everything. I love how the backspace in particular sounds and feels on this board. Oh, ABS or PBT. And for crying out loud, it's a backspace key. The same with the enter key, the shift, anything that has the stabilizers and the spacebar. But the backspace is just special. I know I don't have a mat, so there's some resonance, I guess, from my computer table, but I can put a mat later for, so that we can compare. But that's how the backspace sounds. Enter key. And the other modifiers. One other thing I would like to say is that I was not a fan of how the spacebar sounded with ABS keycaps, but with PBT, I love it. I cannot figure it out. Not sure if it's harsh sounding is the right adjective, just not something I like. It made me think if going with the 6.25 view spacebar was the right choice. Unfortunately, it's not an easy change as the plate for this board is dependent on that. I already chose to go with 6.25 view, so I must stick with it. Not really must stick, but it will be a hassle to change as I need a new plate and I will need to desolder, I think. The reason I went with 6.25 view is this, so you can see in the bottom. I thought I like a little balance in here, but then I realized I don't really look at the board when I'm typing. But on display, yes, when this board is, just being displayed, then that's that's a different story. I'm okay with the blocker too. It does not bother me, and I know for some people it's a no-no. Another subjective thing. I remember Andy not liking the Canon Keys logo on the Chimera, and I can understand that. I think in the Chimera they made it kind of like exploded. So again, a subjective thing. For me, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I guess it's a symmetrical thing, but I don't mind it. All right, so what are the negatives for me? There's pretty much none, to be honest. I cannot think of anything except for the price, maybe. But come on, for a premium board, I think the price is justified. especially that it's not a group buy, and Drift Mechanics fronted the cost for the manufacturing of the boards. If this was a group buy, the price would have been the same as the Chimera most likely, or maybe even cheaper, who knows. Okay, it's effing heavy. But that's not really a negative, and I think that's because of the mid plate piece, which is made of brass, and that's like this part here. So it's more than half the board if you think about it, or the case. So it made it really heavy. But that's one thing about, you know, metal case boards. It's going to be heavy. I mean, aluminum is probably not that heavy, but you add that piece, then of course it's going to be heavy. So here's the Forever 65 carbon fiber plate, nice PBT keycaps. I know when I built this, I went with the GMK 808, oh no, not 808, 8008 2 with the pink accents. This has the Moon V2 switches. I can't really complain. I love this board. So cheers everyone. Let's go for a sound test. Love that backspace, really. Again, backspace, enter. One more thing I would say, the sound is really crisp. So I think that's maybe a bit of, not really a negative, but a disadvantage, I guess, if I compare PBT with ABS, is that this PBT keycaps, it's thicker, slightly thicker than the ABS. And then with the spacebar specifically, I felt like with the ABS, if you're holding both 6.25U spacebars, the ABS is really light and it felt thin. With this one, it feels thick and slightly heavier. So of course that's going to influence the sound and the feel when you press the spacebar. So yeah, so there you go. I hope you like it and see you next time. Bye.